I am so hoping that took in one take because Bibs went everywhere flying underneath the sofa, and I really don't want to have to do that again. But hi everyone, Laura here, and H. We are hanging out at the beach house, and today I'm going to be putting together my brand new, see if I can get it without all the light on it. I think that's, there we go, that's better. My brand new BibFOLIO Bib photo album that my dad got me for my birthday. Thank you, Dad. So I gathered all of my bibs that I have ever done. Honestly, I thought I would have a bigger pile, and I'm going to sort them and put them in the album and chat about my very favorite races along the way. Right, H? H is so excited. She wants to go kayaking, actually. Oh, I shouldn't say that word. All right, so we are going to get to work. Okay, so both dogs are here. That's Jamie to help me discuss my favorites. Starting with this one. This was my very first kind of 5K back in 2008. I really didn't start running seriously until 2013. I give the whole spiel in my very first vlog that you can find here, where I talk about my running story. But yes, this is my very first race. And look at my time for this 5K, 18 minutes and 6 seconds. Pretty good, huh? Obviously, they had a mistake marking the course, so it was shorter than everyone expected, so I don't really call it my first 5K. But I did learn some lessons there, like I should never eat a banana after a race. Somewhere out there is a picture of me chunking into a trash can as a result. Yeah, I'm okay with them in a smoothie, but eat them plain? No, not a good idea. The lessons that we learn, right? Two other favorite races of mine has to be my very first runDisney one back in 2013 when they had the Royal Family 5K. Oh my goodness, what memories. I had just met all the people in my running group. I didn't know Jackie yet either, although she was there. And I was really awkward, and because I had some social anxiety issues, believe it or not. So I was afraid to show everyone my crazy, and I was kind of reserved. And during the 5K, I remember how like there were so many people in groups or wearing costumes together, and I was by myself, and I have to say I was a little lonely and sad. I wasn't in a good place back then mentally for some personal reasons, But then these lovely Brits in our group, Sarah, Charlie, and Tracy, they came along and just wrapped me up with their group, and I ran the rest of the race with them, and just lovely time. And then after the half marathon, oh wait, where is it? In this pile was my very first race photo at the finish line. I could have done smoother with that, but look at that. Oh my gosh. I spent a pretty penny for this, and it was worth every cent because it was just amazing. Oh my gosh, I get emotional just thinking about it. And afterwards, I went and saw my husband in the family area, and he just saw the joy in my face, and he's like, "You're going to want to do that again, aren't you?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes." And what's funny, he was wearing this like neon yellow shirt, so I would find him easier. He had about 100 women come up to him, think he was an official photographer, and asked to take a picture. So he was kind of loving it too. Oh, and oh wait, here's from the 5K. This was back before I discovered the beauty of a costume, but happiness was still there. Oh, and another favorite race, the Tower of Terror. The last one was in 2014. Oh, runDisney, please bring this race back. It's never gonna happen. We all know that, but one can dream. What a blast this race was. Oh, and here we have my race bib, signed by Jeff Galloway. Most of my runDisney ones are signed by him. Oh, how I adore that man. Anyway, this was my first time during marathon weekend, and it was the first time I ever hung out with Jackie. I needed a place to stay. We were hardly knew each other. She's like, hey, come hang out with my mom and I, and we just bonded right from the start. She's like my soul sister, so we had such an amazing weekend. Oh my goodness, so much fun. Another fantastic local race for me is the Baltimore Women's Classic 5K. That's always at the end of June. Fantastic, fantastic women-only race. Very inspiring. I've run this so many times. I missed it this year because of my injury and just issues. But yeah, awesome, awesome race. So here we're at one of my all-time favorite races, the Baltimore Marathon. I did it in 2016. Oh my gosh, what an amazing experience. We're Ravens season ticket holders, and every time we go down Ravens Way and get to the stadium, you walk over the Baltimore Marathon finish line, and oh my gosh, every time I see it, I just dream about doing this race. I was going to try in 2015, but I downgraded to the half marathon like in August. Good thing I did, because a day prior I got a urinary tract infection and probably had one of my toughest races ever. But I tried again in 2016. My goal was to do it in 4 hours and 30 minutes. That was my big goal. So I got with a pace group the guys were fantastic. Oh my goodness, they were amazing. And my strategy was going to be to stay ahead of them. So if I had to pee, because I'm like a, perpetual peer, then I could catch up if need be. And it turned out to be one of those races where you kept making mistakes. Like, I would stop for this one porta potty line because I thought it was short, but it took forever. And the pace group would pass me, so I'd have to catch up. And then I'd stop again later on, and same thing. They would pass me, I'd have to catch up. And then at one point in time, I lost them. And we were going down. You have to go straight to the Under Armour warehouse and then circle back around. So you could see the people who were ahead of you. And the whole time while I'm going down here, I'm like looking for my pace group for them coming this way. And then when I was coming to the corner, I finally saw them. So I found them again, but then I lost them. And then I was coming around. I didn't really kind of have a good feel about my time because, I messed up my Garmin. I had an older model back then. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go for broke. And then coming past the fish market, you go down and just all the spectators are just going crazy. And then you enter Camden Yards, and I'm like a long time. Listen to me. You knew there was going to be a tear somewhere. I'm a long-time Baltimore Orioles lover. I grew up in the 70s, so, my heroes were Jim Palmer and Brooks Robinson and Boog Powell. I'm still mad about them trading them to the Indians. And I see the number 5 for Brooks Robinson. So I'm like trying to chug and crying at the same time, because I always tap his number 5. It's my tradition. And then I see my pace group, and I'm just like hauling butt. They thought that I was gone. And I came up behind them, and I'm like, guys, I'm on your tail. I'm on your tail, guys. And they like knew my goal. So they're like surrounding me, and they're encouraging me. And if you see the video, oh my gosh, my finish line footage could give you a seizure, because I'm just like this. I'm not worried about filming, man. I'm worried about finishing. And we came in, and after that race, we got our selfie. And I really pushed myself hard for this race. I pushed too hard, and my legs just went into lockdown. It was the scariest situation I've ever been in, where I thought that I would be lied out on a medical tent somewhere. I was too cold and stiff and sore to walk, to stretch, to sit. I was like, I couldn't do anything. And I found my husband, and God bless the man. He brought like every single piece of clothing that I had in the car, and I'm like layering up with everything. And then when I was in line for my Maryland medal, my Maryland double medal, if you do that race in the Frederick like I did before, then you get the special challenge medal. I asked him, I was like, what was my time? And he just got this face. He just was like, you're not going to like this. And of course, I'm like, what? He's like, you finished in 4 hours, 30 minutes, and 2 seconds. And then instantly, and I know it's wrong, but instantly just, my heart just plummeted, and I was just so discouraged and upset with myself. And you start analyzing, well, if I didn't wipe so good in the one porta potty break, I would have made it. If I didn't, stop for that second water, I would have made it. If I didn't do this, if I didn't do that. But you know what? By the end of the day, I kind of realized that, first of all, mentally, this is how I got over it. My goal was to do it in 4 hours and 30 minutes. Technically, I did, because I'm still in that 30-minute stage. It's how I got over it. And, you know, it was such a great experience, and just, I loved the race so much. And, you know, come on, I did reach my goal. So, yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites. I'm sorry, I did not mean to ramble on for that long, but if you were ever in the area around October, definitely try this marathon. It's fantastic. It's so diverse. You run through so many different areas of Baltimore, and it's just, crowd support's amazing. So big thumbs up from me. All right, I better move on. All right. So here it is, my favorite absolute race weekend, and you know it as well as I do. It's Dopey. It's Dopey. Dopey 2016. It was just this amazing experience because there's so much work and so much camaraderie with so many other runners leading up to it that it feels like a year-long experience, right? I mean, those of you who are training now, we're already pumped up for this race. It's going to happen next January. And I was with Jackie and Megan and our dear friend Ginny, who I ran with, and it was like the first time. Well, no, we met Rob before that, but it was like a time when we really got to get to know Rob a lot better and his lovely wife Lauren, and it was just this amazing experience. I loved every single minute of it. And when Ginny and I were coming up to the finish line, you'll notice that in all of my Run Disney finish line footage, I get crappy finish line footage because, you know, I'll capture up to about 20 feet and then I put down the phone and I just truly experience the feeling and I live in that moment rather than document it. And so we were coming up and we didn't even realize it, that John Pelkey shouted out, "We're going to take your picture," or something like that. And, you know, Jenny and I had this little pose and I had my big goober smile on, and they used that for the Run Disney social media. And it was just like the topper up a perfect race experience. So anyway, that is my favorite out of everything that I've ever done. I can't wait to do it again. And you know what? Now that I am healed and back to running, I have decided that this pile is way too small. I want to do more races and more local ones too. So now it is time to put these bad boys in the photo album. Okay, so I did not finish. It would have taken way too long, so I did just set the bibs in here just to see if I like the thickness and whether I wanted to put 2 bibs in one back to back or 1 bib in each one. I end up doing a solo bib in each protector. So this is about, I want to say a 33 bibs if you want to get a feel for how thick it is. Plenty of room for more since this can expand more. I think it said it holds up to 100. But yeah, I will be happy with this when it's done. It's nice and neat and it will look good in my office. I have learned though that putting bibs in these plastic protectors can be a pain in the butt, and that Run Disney ones do not fit. So you have to fold the bottom ones over unless you want to cut it. And then I used a spatula to shove it in, which was a lot easier. So I'm going to finish this later on while I'm watching TV and chilling out. Until then, I want to know what you do with your race bibs and how you store them, and what your favorite race is, whether it's a local or a Run Disney race. Please leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your input. Again, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate the support. Give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and as always, take care and have a joyful day. Bye-bye.